Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Motivation Monday podcast for Monday, March 9th, 2020. Second episode of the month of March, so you know what that means. I'm going to be giving you a listening recommendation this week. And this one's going to be really an important one. This one is really close to my heart and really excited for all of you to listen to it. I think a lot of you have probably checked out this recording, but if you haven't, and you haven't closely, you really need to check this out. So what I'm recommending this month is from the Louis Armstrong Hot 5 recordings, and it is his recording of Struttin' with Some Barbecue, which was written by his second wife, Lil Hardin Armstrong. And this one's going to seem like a kind of a funny recommendation because we're going all the way back to 1927 for this one. But there's a particular lens that I would like you to listen to this particular recording through. And that is through the lens of somebody in 1927 and realizing how groundbreaking the sound that they are presenting on this recording is. So think about a young Louis Armstrong, how much energy he has. This is sort of before his wider fame. I mean, he was still very well known, very famous at this time, but nothing compared to, how famous he was in the decades that would follow. And there's a very good reason for his fame. He revolutionized jazz music. It would not be where it is today without this towering figure of the trumpet in jazz. He stretched the boundaries of the instrument beyond what anybody thought was possible. He stretched the boundaries of harmonic and melodic playing beyond what anybody thought was possible. Now, the interesting thing is, okay, so let me go through this a little bit here. So the recording quality, not so good. I mean, recording technology in 1927 was not fantastic. So keep that in mind. It may be a little bit hard to listen to if you're used to these really high fidelity recordings that are being put out today, but try to get past that and really listen to the content of what's on this. So let's talk about the swing feel. I still think that this swings harder than just about anything else that I've ever heard in my life, and this is 1927. All right. So look at it through that lens where it's really stood the test of time. Almost 100 years since this recording was made. And to my ears, it still sounds as fresh as ever. Now, the second thing I want you to listen to is the amount of energy that Louis is playing with on this particular recording. It is really just astounding how much energy he brings to this recording session. In fact, there's some stories that when they were making the Hot Fives and the Hot Sevens, that Louis was actually in a different room because he was playing so loud and with so much energy, and his tone was so piercing that they actually couldn't have him in the same room as the rest of the band, or he would overpower the recording technology of the day. So just think about that for 1 second. That in itself is worth the price of admission to listen to these recordings, in my opinion. Now, the second spot that I want you to really listen for is right around 1 minute and 30 seconds when Louis comes in with his trumpet solo. I mean, it's so exciting. I can barely stay in my chair when I hear the phrases and the material that he's playing right around this mark. It is just amazing. And again, you have to look at it through this lens of people had never heard of this before. This is like a pyrotechnic show compared to all the other music out there. And I think it's really important for us to just look back on this music and not forget that it exists. Because if we think about our favorite, more modern jazz musicians, we just have to realize the debt of gratitude that we owe somebody like Louis Armstrong and these groundbreaking recordings that came out in the 1920s. So that's it. That's what I want you to listen for this week. I'm going to link a YouTube video of the recording in the show notes. So make sure you go and grab that if you can't find it anywhere else. But these are available on a lot of different streaming platforms, and I've done a little bit of research. They're pretty much available everywhere. So shouldn't be too hard to find this, but Struttin' with Some Barbecue, Louis Armstrong and his Hot 5, 1927, recorded in Chicago. Pretty amazing stuff, and to me, very inspiring. So let me know what you think. Leave me a note in the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Community Facebook group. Let me know if you dig these recordings, if the audio is so bad that you can't listen to it, if you have a long history with this stuff. Let me know what it's meant to you. I know that it's meant so much to me. And when I was younger, I didn't listen to this stuff. I did it kind of backwards. I was like a super modern jazz guy when I was younger. And as I'm getting older here, I'm reaching further and further back and really learning the history of this music. And it's been very inspiring and very fulfilling for me to really reach back and hear how swinging these people were all the way back almost 100 years ago. So that's it. That's your listening assignment for this week. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on Friday with a regularly scheduled episode. Have a good one, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.